All right, let me just go live on YouTube. Again, I just got back from the airport. This is my airport fit, like honestly. So I literally came in. My fucking luggage is right at my door. I came in, had to say hi to my doggies. You know what I mean? I want to play with them, but it's late. Yeah, I fired up stream. It's time. Let's get it. Let's get it. Welcome, people. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I think we're live everywhere. We're live on Rumble. We're live on Kick. We are live on YouTube, both YouTube channels. I'll even go live on Meta. Fuck it. Chat, welcome. I know you guys have missed me streaming desktop at least. I am back. Okay. You know, obviously, I think I had said to you guys with the inconsistency recently, and also I went out of town. Obviously, we had to do the show. I'll tell you about it in a second. I think we got to go like 7 days in a row, right? We got to at least start it off right. Also, it's about to be April, right? It's April, or it's one day before April. So maybe we should start off April right with a streak. So I think we should go for a week. So if you guys have been, you know, kind of like worried about inconsistency, you are right. We will get everything back on track. So I appreciate you guys, number one, your patience, but just appreciate you guys overall. If you guys didn't know, and you're just finding out, wasn't streaming as much because I did have a live show. I kind of like promoted it, you know, pretty much like at the beginning of streams and like on my Instagram story for a while. And if you don't know, it's my first time ever going to Miami. And we wanted to do something in Florida. And we did something at the Lyric Theater, which is the Black Archives, Historical Black Archives Foundation. I think they own it. Anyway, I don't know how to say the full name of it. The show went well. Really well. Number one, a few takeaways from me. Oh, the DJ was wilding. Absolutely was wilding. But other than that, meet and greets, I love you guys. It's always like, it's the best part of the show every time, meet and greets. The actual show, like me just talking to y'all, it feels like me doing it just without a computer, just a mic in my hand on the stage. So it was amazing. I do want to give a couple shout outs to some chat niggas who I'm starting to notice by face because they came to my very first show. Then they came to my birthday show. And I saw about like 5 or 10 of them. They came to this. So if you've been to all 3 shows, I appreciate you guys. The mere fact that you guys are traveling around America with me, essentially, I appreciate it. So salute to those guys. And by the way, there was a lot of people once again. You know, this year's schedule we're kind of like set. But next year, I believe... Hey, listen, Virginia shows up so crazy when it comes to these shows. I think we got to go to Virginia next year. We got to do a standalone show in Virginia. I'll figure it out. But Virginia, every time I go to these shows, like whether it's Florida, I'll have at least, you know, and these are, I could tell, it's you know, always talk about this idea of 300. I got a couple Virginia niggas that's in that 300 count because they always coming out. They're always in that meet and greet, and to the point I even know them. So salute to you guys. Salute to Fredo Bang. He came through and performed real quick. Salute to Pump, even though he didn't get a chance to make it there. He was like an hour out. The traffic in Florida is so bad. By the way, also, I extend my deepest and sincerest apologies for people who did buy tickets, especially like meet and greet tickets. And based on the traffic, depending on where you were coming from, I know a lot of y'all missed it. So I do apologize for that. However, salute to everybody else who came through. Salute to Fresh and Fit. Salute to Selena and the people from the Drewski. I guess Drewski had a reality show. And the cast were in town for a reunion. And they came through, you know, and they hopped on stage. They twerked it up, did their thing. By the way, also shout to Jordy. I met Jordy for the first time. Who else was there? Shout out to my man Sam Sneak. You guys might not know him, but he's a really frequent watcher of our stream. He's Rick Ross's DJ. He was there. There's a lot of good and important people in the building. Of course, you guys are the most important, but I just want to give a few shout outs if I remember all the people that were there. Danza Projects was in the building. I think a lot of you guys got to meet the big AJ for the first time. AJ was in the building. Who else? Of course, my whole team and staff, they were there as well. And, you know, there's just so much we could get into with it. Again, we are still trying to be on schedule. We're trying to do 4 shows. This is an ambitious thing for me. You know, I said to the audience there, and I'll say to you guys now, The whole point of me doing these shows is to see you guys. Like, I've been, sometimes your news source, your information source, your Instagram source, your hip hop source, your friend, your entertainment for so long. Some of you guys, probably over 10 years, I just feel like, it's more for me and you guys more than just like anything else. I want to meet you. Like, if you've been fucking with me for 5-10 years, especially over 10 years, it's no way you should be supporting somebody for 10 years and not actually want to at least, just shake the hand one time, right? To have a quick conversation. So that's one of the reasons I'm doing this, and I enjoy it every time. I enjoyed it this time. And we are going to be, mentioning our next show that's coming up, which is, of course, is turning out to be my inaugural birthday show. So I am doing another birthday show, same venue, and tickets are going to go on sale for that, I believe, like tomorrow or something of the sort. But yeah, we're going from Florida. Well, I live in Jersey. We're going to New York, and then we are going to, I believe, Toronto is the third stop. So Toronto, we're coming there in a few months, but we'll be in New York next month, okay? Or technically next month, May. And then the last show of the year, everybody keeps saying I should go to the West Coast. I'm not sure if it's going to be the West Coast. I think it might be Houston. Okay? It might be Houston. Yeah. And the only reason why is that I think I'm already going to be doing something on the West Coast, depending. Apparently, I don't even know if I'm spoiling it. Apparently, ComplexCon is going to be in LA this year. And if they, I'm on decent terms with them. If we could figure out something, I may do ComplexCon again. So I'll probably be in LA for ComplexCon anyway. So fuck it. But if I don't go for ComplexCon, I might just do our own show in LA. Anyway, the point is I'm trying to move around. And, of course, this year, we just want to I'm starting to create a routine. We're starting to hammer things down a lot more. I'm also trying to get a crew that I travel with and trying to, actually, touring is a whole different monster. It's just a whole different thing. Optimally, next year, we'll also do, even though we're doing Toronto this year, we're probably going to try to do the UK and trying to add more international venues, okay? Optimally, the whole thing for me is every month, we do one show, right? Just one live show, right? Again, obviously, I have to do a lot of work to make sure I'm not off stream for 5 days, but, that's the point. The point is to meet everybody globally who watches us. Okay, cool. I don't know if you guys have any questions. If you guys have questions about that, you could ask. We're not going to spend too much time on it. I just want to say thank you guys for making that a success. Thank you guys who couldn't make it but gifted tickets. Thank you guys who, just because you a chat nigga and you just wanted to support. Thank you guys so much. You guys have made it a success for us all over, so I appreciate you. So on to the next. New York, you're back up again, and we'll see what happens. All right. Any questions about that? Let me know. We're going to move on to some topics. Again, I just got off a plane, and I'll tell you why I had to. Well, first of all, Fresh and Fit wanted me to stay today, but I'm like, nah, I got to get back home to my stream, man. I got to get back to that desktop setup. I thought I was going to have a busy Sunday, and the thing with me in Miami, Miami, you could party all day and you could do bullshit all day, and there's girls everywhere and whatever, but if I'm not doing one piece of constructive work, what I consider work, I feel like I'm wasting my time there. So Sunday, I thought I was going to do something maybe with Aiden, or I think we had some other thing planned. It didn't happen, so I did nothing on Sunday. And I'm just not out there to just hit a bunch of clubs and shit like that. So I was just like, Monday I'm out. I'm out. So yeah. Oh, as far as other things that I did do other than the show, I'll give a little light commentary on that. Yeah, I did a stream of Clav. Now, I don't know if people, had different opinions about this. I just want to give you my opinion about it, and I want to tell you my mindset when I'm doing these particular streams. If you see me do an IRL, I do IRLs mostly to clip farm. I ain't even going. IRL is all about clipping. Okay? This is not where you come to go see like academics like really breaking shit down, like, you know what I mean? This is not that. IRL is where it's a world that I think I could, jump in and out of. But when you're in IRL content, it's all about just clips. Trust me. And, after the stream, I saw about like 50 different clips, and I thought that was a job done. I'm cool with Clav. I think I did a great job giving it wasn't an interview necessarily. We had a conversation before we went to like this boat or yacht, and then it turned into some like we're walking around partying type shit. But I think I had a really good conversation with Clav. I like him. Again, in my opinion, I feel like he is a guy who is given an identity to almost a lost population, which is young white males, right? Whether it's lingo, Morgan, this Max, whatever. Like, they're kind of adopting a lot of how he's moving for their identity. And that's kind of interesting because I'm not going to lie, like, young white men have been lost for a little bit, where I think they've been getting shamed for being young and white. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, most people shame them for just straight up guilt. Like, hey, listen, you're probably racist, bro. Just apologize to everybody else. And it's interesting to see how much audience and following he has. Also, he's doing something new. He's focusing on, this looks max and stuff, which is, I think it's kind of catching on. A lot of people are into that type of stuff. So we did a good conversation about that. I was the first conversation he had since he got out of jail. He was arrested for a while because he was doing this marathon. I had set this up previously, right? So I knew when my show was. So I set this up like 3 weeks ago. I didn't know he was going to get locked up. I just happened to be, the time that we had scheduled happened to be, because I thought it was going to be canceled after I heard he was incarcerated. They're like, well, we're going to try to get him out. They got him out, and we did the first stream. We went to a yacht. I know a lot of y'all, like, I see the mixed opinions on it. It's for me, I don't take it that serious, so for me, like, I'm always a little bit self-deprecating. Trust me, I know Clav is like 20. I'm always going to get the, act, you're in your 30s, he's 20. It's not that serious to me, bro. Like, bro, we all cracking jokes. Shout out to Neon who got on there. It's all about like shit talking is light. You know what I mean? At least for me, this is IRL content. Like, believe nothing you see IRL. Nothing. Okay? Everybody's just saying things to get that 30-second clip that everybody's going to clip. It's not that serious. Right? So whether it's like, I don't know. I think one of the clips, I'm like, yo, Clav's my man. I'm going to catch a body for it. Come on, bro. Like, it's IRL. So anyway, I had fun. When I do IRLs, it's all about clips, and that worked. So, would I collab again with Clav? Absolutely. By the way, I will say that boy got some star power, man. I swear. I will say there is something about maybe his theory or what he got going on. The women are actually hypnotized. I thought they were like actors after a while. Until the next day, like some of the women who like came in contact with our orbit, they were hitting me up, and they were talking about this nigga like he was Jesus. Yo, I was there at the party. I seen you with Clav. Like, I know right now he's just doing blah, 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 but like, I to worship the ground he was. Like, I ain't gonna lie, they were talking about this kid like he was. I don't know what it is. So maybe it's a looks max and stuff. I have no idea. But some of the allure that I seen, especially from the women, I thought like, okay, this is because they do bring some OnlyFans hoes on there. But there's some draw. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, I know some of you guys don't like him. Bro, I don't have no reason not to like him, dog. Like, I don't have no reason not to like him. I thought I did a good job of asking him about some of the stuff when it came to racism and stuff like that. I think he had decent answers. And I don't think, number one, I didn't go in there to feel like I got to hold niggas accountable, but I felt like I was pretty fair with everything. Like, what more do y'all want? You get what I'm saying? Damn, somebody said, damn, Ack, you glazing. Dang, what? Y'all don't like this kid, do ya? I get it. He's cool with me. Okay, he's cool with me. All right. Other than that, anything else to mention? Oh, I was supposed to link with Playboy Cardi. Man. story for another day. Anyway, let's get into stuff. All right, Chad, how you guys been? How have you guys been? My thoughts on the new music. I didn't get to fully, listen to all the bully stuff. I am a little bit behind. We got to get caught up with hip-hop. Tomorrow's going to be a big day for us with streaming. Today, I'm wondering what you guys want me to do. I'm not going to do that long of a stream. I'm a little bit jet lagged, but I don't want to sit here and just react to like a bunch of J. Cole shit, like especially he's done like 5 interviews. I will say unequivocally, J. Cole's on the worst hip-hop press run I've ever seen. I've just never seen such a thing. Okay? Like, I am now in the mindset to say, yo, J. Cole fans, that nigga hates y'all. You know how they used to say, like, certain artists hate their fan base because they don't drop? J. Cole hates his fans. I'm going to tell you why. Every excuse J. Cole fans used to use to try to defend him that he's not a bitch-ass nigga, he completely ripped it up to shreds. I couldn't believe it. Like, he didn't give his fans nothing to kind of like ride out with. He's like, if they had anything that they were like, nah, it's because of that, he completely just said, nah, the people y'all arguing online defending me against, they're right. This guy, J. Cole, it's like a humiliation ritual. I don't know what it is. I honestly don't know what it is. Watching J. Cole do these interviews gave me secondhand embarrassment. I'm not even a J. Cole fan. I'm watching J. Cole sit down, do a bunch of interviews, and you know what it felt like to me? It felt like J. Cole was Will Smith, except he was doing a bunch of red table talks without his Jada. You know who was his Jada? Motherfucking Kendrick Lamar. This guy, like, yo, they asking me, do you think you're the best? How could I think I'm the best when Kendrick exists? Like, y'all talking about L. Glaze when I was talking about Clav. Yo, this guy, J. Cole, was drooling. So the point is this. He basically comes out, he's like, he's slobbering over the thing at this point. Like he loves, I don't know what it is about him. And, with all due respect, Drake's my guy. I'm a Drake guy. Everybody knows this. But I got to give Kendrick some type of control. It's like when Smokey say, I got mind control over Debo. Except, no, this is really happening in real life. I don't know what the fuck Kendrick has done to J. Cole, but it's like J. Cole has been longing for approval, and we can't even get Kendrick to say, yo, that's my nigga. All we know Kendrick has publicly said, fuck the big three. It's just Big Me. He ain't say, fuck Drake, I fuck with Cole, but I'm the best. He does both of them. He is not retracted. He's not backpedaled. He's not feeling bad. He's not having cold sweats at nights. But J. Cole, who drops some music, and the worst part about it, J. Cole keeps reminding us, he says, I didn't even believe this shit, man. Yo, J. Cole said the weakest shit I've ever seen in rap history. He said, man, when I was making that 7-minute drill, man, I was just trying to do some shit to feel tough. Like, God damn it, man. Like, the niggas admitting that he was just trying to do some shit to make people think he had a heart. This is disgusting. I don't even like it, man. I'm going to be honest with you. My boy's doing a red table talk. I don't know who's his handler. Yo, listen, Ibrahim, I know you're his manager, but what are y'all doing? This approach of, because there's still Cole fans hanging on to a thread of, you know what? Maybe he's smart. No, maybe, you know what he is? He's just more genuine. He's not genuine. It's not that, some people are like, oh, you don't like Cole because you don't know what rocking with somebody that doesn't have an ego is. Bro, stop it. How many times you're going to watch this guy double dutch in between, still trying to make you feel like he's the best pop shit, right? He's still trying to pop shit at times. But then, of course, when asked or confronted about the shit he was popping, he completely just backs down. Come on, man. It's one of the weakest stuff ever. We could react to a couple clips in a bit, but J. Cole, horrible. It was horrible. It was horrible. I was watching it in real time, and I'm like, it's impossible for me to look at J. Cole's legacy the same again. J. Cole torpedoed his legacy. And if you ask me, in 30 years from now, when this era was mentioned, J. Cole will not be in that conversation. And he doesn't deserve to be. This conversation, not even 30 years, 10 years from now, is going to be literally about, it's going to be a 2-horse race. You know, from time to time, a lot of these other ancillary contenders remove themselves. And there's actually, I don't know the exact term, but there's almost like a rule of 2. It happens in politics. You can't find a country where there's like 3 strong parties and each party wins at an equal rate. You usually get to 2, A and B, and the person who is C, they have very much a smaller market share than the other 2 people, which means it's just A and B. And that's what J. Cole is showing us. Now, there's a time that I used to say there was a big 4. I used to have Big Sean in there. Big Sean, no disrespect to you, but Big Sean eliminated himself too. He got up on out of there. Okay? You know, my boy just want to be married to Janae. Got you, homie. Eliminated. J. Cole was in there, and we're like, but then J. Cole had those few years, he started rapping like my boy was rapping like he was trying to get out the drive-through window at McDonald's, like he was trying to make it to be like a corporate CEO. Then we get to realize, man, when conflict and everything he said he was prepared for and he was the best at, when those things came, he folded. Folded like a lawn chair. He folded like a wallet. It was the worst. And that's when we now realize I think these interviews have cemented his legacy. His legacy is going to be a forgotten one, in my opinion. One that his fans will remember. But he won't ever really go down in the serious conversations of the people who will compete in the history of who ran it, whose era was it. You can think about basketball. There's a couple of niggas who was always in the mix. There was a time niggas thought it was going to be Carmelo's era. They're like, nah, Carmelo's, yeah, then you realize he just never won a ring. The only ring he got was given to Lala. It's over. He just fell out. He's just not one of the guys. It's okay. Unfortunately, we got to say that about J. Cole. He's just not one of the guys. What's the problem? He's just not one of the guys. 10 years from now, we're not going to argue who the hell was 3 or 4. Nobody cares. Only arguments we care about if you could make a reasonable argument who was the best. And if someone says, nah, Kendrick was the best, okay, I hear you making that argument. Maybe it's reasonable. And I might come back and say, nah, Drake was the best. But what will not be said in 10 years, his legacy's done, if you ask me. You will not hear J. Cole was the best. It just sounds crazy. I mean, the slobbering that he was doing in the interview, J. Cole might as well name his next album, I Let Kendrick Down. It's at this point, he's done bowed to the man's feet. He's done apologized 30 times. Listen, this is all you need to know. Even Drake think he a bitch ass nigga. And that's not nothing coming from me. I'm going off Cole's own words. We're going to react to the clip later. He said, yeah, Cole was supposed to. And by the way, he tried to clear up some rumors and, you know, we're going to talk about those. He said, yeah, Drake was supposed to come to Dreamville Fest. But once Drake realized, and I'll just fill in the gap, how much of a bitch I was and that I wasn't fully in it. He said Drake could tell that his heart wasn't there. Yeah, nigga, y'all loading up the gun to go kill the niggas that just spun on you. And then basically you over here like, yo, bro, do we gotta shoot him? Bro, well, yo, can't we just like, yes, he stopped the car abruptly and let you out. He let you out. That was J. Cole with J. Cole telling us without needing to tell us. Drake realized the bitch was in me. And he said, you know what, bro? Do your apology fest. I'm not coming. I ain't on that type of vibe. We'll see. I'll react to some clips in a little bit. Big news that did come out though, chat. So, if you guys haven't heard the news, apparently Charleston White, which by the way, ironically. So, you know, Selena came out to my show. Our Miami show. She, did a little segment, Riz segment. And in the Riz segment, whatever happened, man. But because she came out to my show, she asked me if I could come out to her reunion. Now, if you don't know, apparently she's on a show with Drewski, or she was on a show with Drewski. And I don't know what it was called, but it was like this, kind of big reality show, and they just did a reunion to it. If you've never seen it, I think yes, Selena always doing some nasty shit on there, but yeah, she was on the show with Drewski. So they had the reunion show like the day after my show, and Selena like, it'd be cool, like Drewski likes you should just pop up. Now, I'm not the most fond of just popping up anywhere, but whatever, I did think about it, but ultimately I did not choose to pop up at the Drewski reunion show. It's called Could Have Been Love finale, right? One of the people who did show up was Charleston White. So Charleston White, he's been cool with Selena. They've been hanging out a little bit, and he decided to show up to show some love. And when he showed up, he was met by a few unscrupulous individuals. Now, I want to show you the interaction that he's claiming to happen. And not going to lie, there's a lot more to talk about. So he shows up there, and apparently he claims that King Spider, yes, you didn't hear me wrong, King Spider, King Slime, Young Thug, came up to him with like 50 goons. Allegedly, Lebebe was also in tow. And King Spider said to Charleston White, you better stop playing with me because I step on shit. Okay? This is like an after video of the altercation when security had to kind of get in the midst of these men. And you'll hear Charleston talking shit from behind the camera, but you'll see Young Thug right here.
They ain't ready for that, mate. That nigga told gun. Bitch ass nigga. Man, hoe ass.
You can see Thug's face here.
Niggas approach me now. Catch the foot. They ain't ready for that, mate. That nigga told gun. Bitch ass nigga. Man.
Okay. There you go. So that was Young Thug. Now, Charleston White continued to explain by saying this.
Ready for that, mate. That nigga told gun. Bitch ass nigga. Man, hoe ass niggas approach me now. Catch the foot.
Yeah, boy, Young Thug down there finna be a victim tonight. Yeah, this nigga a hoe ass nigga. Man, any nigga approach you from the back. Yeah, you a hoe nigga. Yeah. One thing I know, nigga with that 30-year probation, let me explain something to you, Jeffrey Williams. Let me explain something to you, motherfucker. You on probation. Right? You just approached me, threatening me. Your words was, we step on shit.
Oh, shit.
Okay? You didn't say I, you made it plural. You said we. So that's in cohorts. I mean a gang. You on probation. Then you had a fella with you that was possessing a gun. You are not supposed to be around with people that had guns. Eyewitness, along with other witnesses, saw your friend with the short body, with the fat, pudgy stomach that hangs above or over his waistline like a kangaroo pouch. The fat motherfucker was clutching the gun. His exact words as he was clutching the gun or appearing to be clutching the gun. I assumed it was a gun. I think it was a gun. I believe it was a gun.
Oh, no.
Right? That makes it aggravated assault. His words was, don't lose your life in her.
Oh, wow.
My words was, do it.
Oh, wow.
And other people came out and interfered. I proceeded to brandish the mace and pull out the mace and say, you niggas are getting maced. So I understand we was on a private airport's property, which is under the Federal Aviation Administration. So first thing Monday morning, because you said Jeffrey Williams on probation, a.k.a. King Slime, a.k.a. Young Thug, you said we step on shit.
Oh, shit.
Your other brother, your goon with the gang chain, the YSL spider chain, pretending to clutch a gun as he was assuming to be brandishing and holding the gun, said don't lose your life. I am now in fear of my life. Swear to God I am. I'm going to contact my attorney. First thing Monday morning, we will be going to the courts to file a restraining order against you for my protection. Not only that, I will be contacting the federal authorities because you made a threat while possessing a gun on federal property, a private airport. I'm pressing charges on you, Jeffrey. I know you're on probation.
Ain't ready for that, mate. Them niggas told.
Okay. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Now, I'm gonna play a little bit more of Charleston in a second, but I gotta break this down and break it down accurately, y'all. And I do want to send a PSA and a hopeful warning to Young Thug. Young Thug, we felt bad for you the first time, but after you've gotten the most lenient sentence we've ever seen for the things you were being accused of, which included murder, or pretty much murder for hire, orchestrating the death of people, you chose to be on probation for a long time. I want to caution you, and I'm not just only piggybacking off of what Charleston White is saying. I was in Miami. There was numerous reports that basically Young Thug and Le Bebe, they're the new Bonnie and Clyde. I don't know what type of love affair this is, but these hooligans have now moved from Atlanta to Miami, and they're condo thugging. I'm being honest. They're running around with a bunch of rent-a-goons, and it's very ironic because there is no Cleveland Avenue in Miami. But the new Bonnie and Clyde of hip-hop, I want to caution them, and you know, and some of y'all might think I'm hating. I'm just giving y'all real facts. Little baby, I was on the phone with you. Nigga, when I said 4PF, nigga, it's like I said Beetlejuice. Like, nigga, you were about to jump out of your skin. You clearly never wanted to catch a RICO in Atlanta, in Fulton County, and nobody's saying you should. The idea of, like, you guys just try to stay rich, try to stay free. Young Thug, you got a second chance, a second lease at life. Please don't go down to Miami playing gangster. Essentially, this was a story because there's other people I guess they were trying to run up on. I don't know. Apparently, Young Thug and Lil Baby, they're moving in tandem like a couple. So you got Lil Baby. I don't know who's Bonnie and who's Clyde, but they're running around in Miami with the 4PF YSL like they've almost like bonded at this point, and they're running down on niggas. And I guess this is their way of still being tough outside of Atlanta. You said who's Bonnie? I don't know. Again, with all due respect, I'm giving hopefully a warning to these guys. I get it. The idea of Atlanta, I think Atlanta, because it's been getting hammered with the Ratlanta rumors. I think Young Thug, I think he's an enabler. Ever since he's linked back with Le Bebe, he's back on like tough nigga time. Before then, you seen 6ix9ine who was disrespecting you on stage. You just smiling when people trolling you about it. You were actually just rolling around with just regular business people. I'm giving the warning now because if he gets into some further trouble, there will be no tears to be had. But I'm telling you, Young Thug has got back with his baby boo, Le Bebe, and Bonnie and Clyde are now trying to Atlanta thug, but in Miami. I'm hoping this doesn't turn bad in the sense of authorities getting involved. But I do want to point out that this is... I heard they went to the club doing the same bullshit. I heard they were at Drewski shit doing the same bullshit. And I heard they're basically hand in hand moving around doing the same bullshit. So I just want to be very clear on what is already known about these two guys. And, you know, we'll see what happens, though. We'll see what happens. Also, this is another thing, too. To Thug, you're not going to, whatever points you might think you lost in people thinking you're tough, you're not going to gain it back by running down on Charleston White. Just not going to happen. Same with Lil Baby. Like, you're not going to gain it back by running down on Charleston White. Don't get ran out of Atlanta and then try to go pick on a old ass influence. Not trying to diss my man Charleston, but it's an old influencer with one eye. You're not going to get no, whatever tough stripes you're trying to get is still going to be looked at as the same thing. Man, you niggas are from exactly where the place where y'all all doing a Spider-Man meme about telling. That's it. It's not going to change. So again, I'm hoping this doesn't kind of keep escalating. I've continually told y'all Young Thug is on the worst run in history for the nigga who got out of jail but has done everything wrong. He does everything but make great music. Everything. Now he's trying to get back into gangsterism. Please stop it, Young Thug. Please. Please stop it. Okay? Make some good music. People love you. This is why people were championing you getting free. And this is why I'm blaming Lebebe. I'm going to tell you why. You ever see a nigga who feel like he got to be tough for the other nigga? This is my theory. I might be wrong. Keep in mind, Thug has enabled Lil Baby back in the past. Lil Baby reportedly had got like a $30 or $40 million check from his boss, P, for QC when he, obviously he's still signed there. And somehow Young Thug brainwashed him and says, man, fuck all the millions that nigga gave you. That nigga's a rat. You can't fuck with him. He's a rat. And Lil Baby is like, again, obviously he's not the smartest. He's not the brightest light bulb in the mix. He allowed Young Thug to, I think, mentally manipulate him to go against the man who's cutting him a check of tens of millions of dollars because a real street nigga don't fuck with rats. What? You signed to him. Like, what are you talking about? But he allowed Young Thug, and you heard it on the jail call, he allowed Young Thug to basically brainwash him to go through beef with his own boss. We seen how it played out. Whatever Wham says goes. They're like, I think they enable each other to act like they're on some super gangster shit. That's why they also, Baby pushed the line on, we're not fucking with Gunna because he's a rat. Right? So now Thug, who gets out, remember he went through the whole thing, Wham, pick up the phone, talk to me, Spider. Cool. But now he's back with Wham. He also got to stick his chest out because he's been having Wham stick his chest out. So now, other than, Thug was abiding by his probation pretty well the last couple months. Ever since we've seen these two booed up in the car, passenger princess shit, Thug is back on gangster timing. And I'm telling you, I don't see this ending well. I'm telling you, I don't see it ending well. Okay? Now, I will also further go to say, for both Lebebe, who I told you he was, the dude had a jump scare of the thought of even I don't even think you can say a word with R and he don't jump. He don't want to get a RICO charge, and he shouldn't. For him to go link back up with Thug and go to Miami and running around like they think they Tupac, I don't think niggas like Charleston White who are going to play these narratives online, and you guys got to see what Charleston White's doing. Like, Charleston White is, Charleston White is, he's basically like, he's just making the case for Fonnie Willis at this point. Is it this? No, this ain't this. What's Charleston White's page? Here we go. Sorry. Oh, Charleston White 46. I hope y'all get what I'm saying. Bro, Young Thug and Lil Baby. If y'all niggas trying to get back on y'all gangster shit because y'all trying to gain points because niggas is looking at y'all like y'all came from this place that all y'all are telling, don't do the gangster shit to the people that you know are going to be online to tell on you or to get the situation hot with you. Go get a Rollo or something. Go get one of your little ops in, well, I guess y'all can't go back to Atlanta. But okay, so that's kind of what's happening, chat. But yeah, look what Charleston White did. Charleston White posted up the license plate. He says, we even got Young Thug license plates sent to the FBI agents, as well as everybody pictures in his camp. Photos are being sent to Atlanta authorities to see if he's with known gang members. Of course he is. Then he posts this guy. He says, yo, this guy right here, his name is Rob Lowe. He allegedly shot Young Thug in the past, okay? He was one that was clutching a gun and making a direct threat to me, saying, don't lose your life. Well, this nigga tag FBI Miami Division. Holy shit, man. Anyway. So yeah, I'm only saying that because I think while we might like these guys' music, when we're seeing them go down a stupid path, we gotta tell these niggas to cut it out. Okay, King Slime, you need to make a hit song. I told y'all, you and Lebebe should have been on the way driving to Gunna's house to go get that reunion. But if y'all want to go drive and go goon up in Miami, goon up and go against the Miami Haitian niggas or something like that. But going against like content creators, I don't know what the point here is, other than you're gonna just get people to make videos. Like everybody's talking about Young Thug rolling with some niggas who tried to beat up or shoot Charleston White. It's not good for your probation. You know what I mean? Like, bro, play it smart. But I do think this is Atlanta's frustration with the narratives about them, the narratives about their character, and I think they believe, or at least Young Thug probably, believes it's time to do the stepping. Anyway.
Bitch ass nigga got that pussy. Listen, as of right now, I'm undefeated. Can't nobody beat me. I done ran into every rapper y'all thought was somebody. Listen, I disrespect Thug, baby mama. I disrespect everything about Young Thug. That bitch ass nigga saw me last night and called pussy. We step on shit. Who was we? Bitch ass nigga. Them whole ass niggas didn't do nothing. Now, they had a chance to do something. When they see I had that mace, they caught that pussy. One thing I know, you whole ass niggas scared of that mace. I ain't met a nigga yet that can beat that mace. I ain't met a tough nigga yet. I done run into niggas.
That's that beer mace he talking about, huh?
From Chicago. I done run into niggas from LA. I done run into Nipsey Hussle and them people. Nigga, ain't nobody done nothing. You know if you talk over here, you getting blocked. Blocker.
Okay. Rollo jumped in. He said this. He says, wise men don't start fights that they can't win. Some shit you got to walk past. Only a damn fool would publicly push up on Charleston White, and y'all know how he coming. The man Charleston White is a gangster's worst nightmare for real. Because y'all going to play crazy, and he going to send y'all straight to the crazy house.
A wise man once told me, it ain't about what you do. It's about how you do it. And he also said, it ain't about what you say. It's about who you say it to. You see, y'all can push up on me with all this old fake gangster shit, and I'm going to just call you bluff and tell you ain't no gangster. Because I can get on whatever you on, and you ain't ever got to worry about the police. Because I ain't never sent a man to jail in my life, in real life. But if you fuck with Charles White, boy, y'all nigga might be going to jail playing with that man. Y'all can say I talk too much, but one thing I know is what to say and what not to say. And I know who to fuck with and who not to fuck with. Every real street nigga across the globe know not to fuck with Charles White. Y'all supposed to stab that man away, you damn fool. You see?
Okay. All right. I think that's about it. Anything else? No, I think that's about it. I think what's important here, I just want to point out, and this is the last thing I'm going to say. I hope Young Thug is valuing his freedom. But I'm telling you, Thug, the word is out. You and Lil Baby, y'all rolling around like y'all Bonnie and Clyde, okay? This gangster relationship where y'all are both enabling each other. You looking at him like, are you stepping? He looking at you like, Spider, you stepping, right? And then y'all are just having a bunch of niggas around you and moving like a gang. It's going to get both of y'all locked up again, except this time, I think we might just have to say good riddance instead of, damn, free him. I'm being honest. I'm being honest. And because the only thing I could be thinking of, everything we heard in that YSL trial were y'all beefing with other gangs on some shit that was a lot of times way deeper than music. It was some street shit. Now, if you are telling me that you and Lil Baby are playing like some gangster couple that have now galvanized a bunch of young Negroes to try to run down on people who are talking about y'all in the industry, y'all are begging to go to jail. Come on now. Y'all begging to go to jail. At that point, you're begging to go to jail. And we'll see. Somebody's going to get what they request, right? We'll see. All right. Well, I hear last night Lil Baby was at Lil Baby was at Club Live. Young Thug in the corner like a proud girlfriend. I don't know who the girlfriend. I don't know what it is. I ain't even gonna lie to you. It's like it's either I don't know what's going on with them. You feel me? And then I hear both of them. They were sharing a drink at some other spot. I'm like, bro, I don't know, nigga. So Bonnie and Clyde, man, they doing their thing, man. I rock. Hey, listen, I rock with some Thug music now. I rock with it. But who knows? All right. Let's keep it moving, y'all. Let's keep it moving. Should I get to the so this is a 50 Cent Jimmy Henchman stuff. I could get to that. Do you want me to let me just react to these J. Cole clips really quickly. I'm so upset about this. Okay, here we go.
Was the rumor that Drake was supposed to be at Dreamville Fest?
That actually is true. He was supposed to be at Dreamville Fest.
Okay.
That was planned. He was coming. He didn't come.
Okay.
Thank God he didn't come. No disrespect to Drake. I love Drake. But
Pause.
Had he come, I would have felt more pressure to be on stage representing that energy.
Yeah.
Way before.
J. Cole just not a man to me, man. Did you just hear that bitch ass nigga slop that just was said by him? If Drake came, I would have felt pressured to be on stage with the energy he had. How is J. Cole 45 getting peer pressured, bro? This shit is kind of crazy, dog. He's basically admitting that Drake would have peer pressured him. This guy's 45. Admitting that you know what's so funny? There's a point that makes this even more disgusting. He even admits that him and Drake and Kendrick, they don't even talk frequently. They're not even really friends. How do you get peer pressured by a nigga that's not even your homie? You get peer pressured by a coworker? Bro, this is weak. This is like the epitome of weakness.
Before Kendrick's song dropped, he was supposed to come. I was trying to get Kendrick to come too. Like that was my plan for Dreamville Fest that year. Mind you, I never got a chance to it's crazy because around the time I was going to hit Kendrick, like, yo, you want to come through and make this moment? Boom, boom, boom. I told Drake. Drake knew that it was something I wanted to happen. When we was on tour, I'm like, yo, it'd be crazy if both of y'all came out at Dreamville Fest, boom, boom. It's silly now to say, you know what I mean? It's like, nah, nigga.
Now, to give some context, I do believe him, what he's saying. And by the way, most things that you're going to hear from Cole, it's not that I don't believe him. It's to the point where I'm almost just surprised he keeping it this real because it just makes him look crazy. Like, Batman couldn't beat this info out of me. You get what I'm saying? So, what I believe, remember, he went with Drake on the first leg, or was the second leg of the It's a Blur tour. So Drake, I believe, probably definitely felt like, hey, listen, this guy, kind of co-headlined, or he came with me on my tour for a bunch of dates. If he wants me to do him a favor and come to his festival, like, that's normal. That's what, let's not call them friends, but that's what a reciprocating work associate would do.
there were other plans in the works, but like, but so
because y'all all supposed to be on first person shooter together, right?
no,
Was
not
that
we
that's
were all
another rumor?
supposed to. No. So it's I hate that with so many lies. You're actually saying
you here? I gotta ask.
with so many lies. You're actually saying things that are like half truths.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
Drake's supposed to be coming to Dreamville Fest. Yes, half truth.
Okay.
He was always going to be coming to Dreamville Fest.
That was the rumor.
Okay, let me go to the actual video that you could get the whole context, but he's going to explain the first person shooter thing, right? By the way, this is the 7 p.m. in Brooklyn with 7 p.m. with Carmelo Anthony. I just want to play this in full. Give me 1 second. Okay, here we go.
Hey, mad son.
Sheesh.
I was.
Is this sped up?
Swift.
Here we go.
I was about to say it has to be a little special.
About for myself, I'm just talking to his.
Mm-hmm.
So he the best on songs. Do I
Back in the day, so I can't.
Rankings.
I think.
love Carolina, but I'm not. I used to really love Carolina
Here we
as
go.
man. You know what I mean? Like you don't know this man. So
He's really
cool
nice.
and gracious and
Yeah,
like
good guy, man.
and
He's a
bro,
good dude.
I'm
Oh my
really
God.
don't have a list. Like I would have to
Nobody.
sit here and
Not
take
a list,
time-
but nobody. Dead or alive. Let's make it interesting.
Yeah, dead. and
Oh
pop-
my God, give me a second. This is why I could I like using. Where's the transcript? Okay, now I can look up first. Okay, here we go. There we go. No, it's a preview. My bad. Let me go to another one. Hold on. Let's put person. Sorry, I'm searching right here. Okay, here we go. Okay.
Nah, nigga. There were other plans in the
Not
works, but
happening.
like,
Right.
but so
Because y'all all supposed to be on first person shooter together, right?
no,
Was
not
that-
we
that's
were all
another rumor.
supposed to. No. So it's I hate that with so many lies. You're actually saying
you here? I gotta ask.
with so many lies. You're actually saying things that are like half truths.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
Drake's supposed.
Why am I getting buffering?
Drake knew that it was something I wanted to happen when we was on tour. I'm like, yo, it'd be crazy if both of y'all came out at Dreamville Fest. Boom, boom. It's silly now to say, you know what I mean? It's like, nah, nigga. There were other plans in the works, but like,
Right.
but so
Because y'all all supposed.
Dreamville Fest, yes, half truth.
Okay.
He was always
Here we
going to
go.
be coming to Dreamville Fest from when we was on tour together.
Right.
He had always like agreed to do that.
Yeah.
It was only this situation that made him like, and he actually told me, he was like, and I appreciate him for doing this. He's like, yo, bro. It was after he didn't show up, but he was like, yo, bro, I didn't want to put you in a situation because he could tell when me and him talked, he could tell my heart wasn't maybe equal.
He don't even know that he's acknowledging that he's basically saying Drake could tell that was a bitch.
Equivalent to his.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, yo, I didn't want to come down there and put you in a situation on that stage and say some shit that you would have to stand behind.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Ultimately, that's why he told me he ain't show up.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm like, thank you. Thank God that you didn't because it left.
Yo, you hear this man, bro? Do y'all hear this guy? Yo, if you are a J. Cole fan, that's what I meant to do at my show. I wanted to bring a J. Cole fan on stage. You gotta have no pride, no ego. No, it's not even about pride and ego. It's like just no respect. Being a J. Cole fan, you gotta be like a literal doormat. You get walked over by everybody in your life. Your mom, your girl, your kids, your friends. You just don't stand for nothing. A man without a country. Like, a J. Cole fan just gotta be... That's if they embody him.
The space for me to receive what I was supposed to do. You know what I mean? But that's one thing you said that was like a half truth. You just
Okay.
said another half truth, which was, what was the other half?
This
First
was
person?
all being on first person shooter together.
Oh, so I'm not gonna say we were all supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
How it came to me was before that beat ever made it to me, I think Kendrick wanted that. I mean, I think Drake wanted that to be a him and Dot song.
Okay.
Like I think that's what it was. And I think my interpretation is like maybe when it wasn't moving fast enough, or he wasn't getting the response he wanted. Maybe he was like, let me hit Cole.
Now, here's so I like. By the way, I do not think he's lying on anything. But I do, with him trying to clear stuff up, because I do know fans come back and be like, this was a lie, or people didn't say this right. It's clear, based on what he said, he had some knowledge that Kendrick was intended to supposedly be on the song. Why? Because he starts to mention him, Drake, and Kendrick. Drake doesn't mention him and Kendrick. Drake doesn't mention Kendrick at all. Now, I think the only thing he's correcting is that I think the way how stuff was, kind of told to everybody is that it was J. Cole pushing for Kendrick to be on the record. At least what Cole is telling us, Drake wanted Kendrick on the record. And maybe wanted Kendrick on the record before Cole. Which, that gives another aspect to this issue or this beef, because if Drake, as late as 2023, wanted to do a song with Kendrick Lamar, even if, it was just like, oh, I just want to get this nigga on a song to kill him. Like, I just want to out-rap him. Drake didn't have that much hatred for Kendrick where he's like, I'm not going to collaborate. So at least it gives us an insight on what Drake is thinking, because he's down to collaborate, even if he's, is going to be super competitive. But clearly Kendrick had other things in mind.
Because I think Boy Wonder was pushing like, bro, you need to hit Cole, boom, boom, mind you. So I never looked at that song like it was gonna be all of us. I thought it was me and Drake, and I just had the beat. Okay. There was nothing on it. I just had, and I felt mad pressure because I wanted to come through for him. You know what I mean? I felt like he showed up at Dreamville Fest the year before that. You know what I mean? I wanted to come through for him. I had to write that verse several times. You know what I mean? So that's a half truth kind of. Okay. But there's no part of us making that song where it's like, yo, Kendrick was supposed to be on here. Nah, I just got a beat.
So again, I'm not gonna call him a liar, but I do believe he knew that Drake was reaching out to Kendrick. Because why would his verse is halfway sucking off Kendrick too?
For Drake, I want to come through for him on his album. The clock was running, you know what I mean, and winding down. Boom, and I came through. But you said something in the beginning. Damn, I want to remember.
There was somebody. I think
no, you
it was
said something about me saying. You said something about
getting a heads up.
No, Schoolboy Q. That's a complete lie.
Okay, now I think the Schoolboy Q thing, and I want to give you the origin of these rumors or whatever. Which, by the way, I hate to go into where rumors kind of really come from. I believe the Schoolboy Q thing, I think that came from Maul, right? I think that came from Maul, unless I'm tripping. Or no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't Maul. It wasn't Maul. It was some chick, I think. I think it was some chick. Unless I'm wrong about that. Where did the Schoolboy Q thing come from? Do we know? Do we know where the Schoolboy Q rumor came from? I'm just, because I want a rumor check. It came from where? All hip hop? It came from Back on Fig? What? Huh? Okay. All All right, let's try to go back and figure it out. Here we go. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's a video to it. Are y'all sure? Yeah, I keep saying back on Fig. But I don't think Schoolboy Q ever said that. I don't think Schoolboy Q ever said that. Now, the only reason I'm actually even I'm looking up these rumors because we got to figure out who's putting out the lies. I ain't gonna lie to you. Schoolboy Q warned J. Cole. Okay, let's see. Schoolboy Q, where's the source? Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. J. Cole infamously bowed out, allegedly, according to All Hip Hop. Oh, they're saying All Hip Hop. A friend, see, huh? So it was just All Hip Hop. Okay.
Ask Schoolboy Q. That's just like internet, like, yo, that's a straight lie.
Gotcha.
And there's many of those.
Gotcha.
Many half-truths and many way more straight lies. Like the Schoolboy Q shit is a straight lie. Like, of course, shout out to Schoolboy Q. He not going to come out and just say it on his own. But it's like when you get a chance, ask him. It's a straight up lie. But you said something in the beginning how like on songs, like how I say I'm the best on songs. It's like, ask me in real life, do I think I'm the best rapper alive?
Do you think you're the best rapper alive?
Bro, it's an...
Okay. Now, I'll tell you kind of what I've heard. Even though I feel like we're still playing rumors, huh? I would like to hear him speak on this. He looked like he's still doing a press run. So I hear that, it wasn't Schoolboy Q. It wasn't Schoolboy Q that ran into him at Dreamville Fest. I don't even know if Schoolboy Q was there. I hear that J. Cole spoke to Kendrick. And Kendrick clarified to him, hey, it wasn't for you. He basically told him, I want it with Drake. However, J. Cole still responded first. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I heard. I don't know. You know what I mean? Again, we're still in rumor land, but that supposedly is the word. And I think that does make a little sense when you hear Cole try to explain himself, because he kind of goes a little bit more in depth into, well, I felt like I had to respond, right? Like he felt like it was an MC's job to respond, but apparently he had spoke to Kendrick, and Kendrick flat out told him, that's for Drake.
A nigga named Black Thought that exists. It's a nigga named Lupe Fiasco that exists. It's niggas that on any given day, even my peers, a Drake or a Kendrick, where
somebody said, so why are you mad at him for? Because if you speak to the man says it's not for you, you still go choose to respond. You got to imagine now it's now seen as Kendrick dissing both of y'all. You make Kendrick look more invincible when you drop a diss song, then retract it before the nigga even responds publicly, and you basically just apologize to him, basically saying, yo, it gives off this illusion that this guy is just too good to even be fucked with. The point is you should stage your pussy ass on out of here. If you were going to apologize, you knew up front it wasn't for you. So why apologize? Because the optics in the battle does make it look odd. Anyway.
it's like, yo, I know on any given day I can show up to the studio and give these niggas 80. But I know they can show up on any day in the studio.
Yo, when he says that, I even laugh, bro.
Give me 80. And I might only have 30. Like, so if I'm taking on a rap persona, like when I'm rapping, of course that's how I like to rap. And guess what? Sometimes I hit the mark And I say shit, and I spit a verse that really might have you believe in that shit. But if you ask me in real life, do I walk around like I'm the best rapper alive? No, nigga.
I ain't gonna lie to you, chat. I clicked off the interview here. If you ask me in real life, if I walk around like I'm the best media nigga, fuck no. Bro, y'all should just click out the stream, man. Like, yo, I'm good, man. It's time for me to go to sleep, bro. Like, what am I doing? What am I doing? It's time to go to sleep.
Like I'm the best ever. No, but when I put on that motherfucking cape, like that's how I try to attack shit. And have there been things and moments and verses where I'm writing this shit and I'm like, I know niggas not fucking with this. Absolutely. But in reality, do I walk around this earth like there's no nigga better than me in real life? Like I can't get in the studio with Black Thought and he just give me 90.
This thing is cap rapping, man. I don't know what's going on.
You know what I mean? And I'm sitting there like, I got 25 for you. You know what I mean? Or any one of these amazing rappers. But I think people hear me say it because they don't know me for real.
Right.
They hear me say it in a verse so much when I have on the cape.
It sounds convincing like a motherfucker.
It sounds convincing because I'm really doing that shit that's going to have a nigga like, man, nigga. No, you think when you hear it, nigga. You just scared that people actually believe that.
Yeah.
But the truth is, nigga, have I done things that are on that caliber? Absolutely. Like, are there people that'll get in there and smack me? Absolutely. Can I get in that same studio on another given day and smack them around? Absolutely. It's no different than basketball. How many times you done gave a nigga 50 or 40 and then turn around and he done gave you 50 or 40? Like, it's no different. You know what I mean? So like, I think people think that I like walk around with that mentality or something. It's like, bro, that's not even my.
I can't tell if he's trying to be like humble because I feel like I'm turning to like Vickler over here, but is he humble maxing right now? Like, yo, bro, I feel like he's trying to come off humble by saying, oh, I don't have this ego that all these other guys have. But that's not what it kind of comes off to me. It kind of comes off fraudulent. It comes off as someone who lacks conviction, who is playing a role that he is not, who doesn't have the full belief in what he should be, and it's just insincere. I don't know.
My character. You know what I mean? To walk around thinking like, I hope that I do something when I sit down to write that could be. Now,
I want to point out the difference here for my nuanced people, because a lot of people are going to say, no, this is just like humbleness. If someone says Michael Jordan is the best basketball player of all time, that doesn't mean that Michael Jordan played the best in every single basketball game that he's ever played. That's kind of like understood. It's that based on his ability overall, what we've seen compared to the field, we think he's the best player out there. So this idea where he's like, nah, how could I say I'm the best when maybe if I get in the studio with this guy, he might rap better than me. Jordan played against, what's my guy from the Trailblazers? That nigga gave him buckets sometimes. That's a fact. Y'all know that guy from the Trailblazers? It didn't mean that Jordan wasn't the best. And I'm pretty sure even if that guy did do that, Jordan still felt like he was the best. I see people keep saying, acting like crashing out. It's not necessarily. I think y'all keep thinking I'm making up these. I have the stance about J. Cole because of Drake or because of the battle. No. I have the stance because I think J. Cole is an undeserving person to be in any top tier conversation. Any man with this type of mentality is middle of the field, nothing else. This type of mentality could not be applauded. This is middle of the field, nothing else type of conversation. Yes, the battle is where we saw it at, but the more he talks, he tells us that this is him not only in the battle. I thought he was just dick licking, and he just loves Kendrick so much he can't battle versus his little boo. But he's telling me right now through these interviews, bro, I've been a fraud this whole time. Like, when I'm telling y'all on the record I'm the best, nigga, I don't believe that shit. I'm just saying it because y'all want me to say it. There was a time, remember he kept saying the whole, yo, you know, he kept putting himself in third place. And I remember saying, yo, what type of nigga is this? Like, who puts himself in third place? And even his fans, who his fans are all got to be like beta or something. His fans kind of got at him about it, and that's when he started claiming like he's the best. It's basically, he never wanted to, he only said he's the guy or he's the best because of y'all. If you don't feel that's fraudulent, that a rapper is trying to say things just to make you feel he is something that you mentally have him pitched out as, not what he really is. It's fraudulent to me.
Considered at that level, you know what I mean? But I already know it's a lot of niggas out there that while I'm,
you know, it's a way to give credit to your peers. It's a way to give credit to your peers. You know, when it comes to media, I give credit to my peers. You know, and I'm not gonna lie, there was maybe a moment. There was a moment that I was like, if you compare me to some of my peers, but I really honestly didn't feel I've never thought, like, these days I think I'm the best. Straight up. I don't care what y'all talking about, Joe Budden, Shaw. I don't care who y'all talking about, nigga. I think I'm the best. Fuck what you talking about, right? And some people might say that's ego, but it's like, there was a time that I'm like, man, I'm not there yet. Cole is saying that he started saying he was the best, but he never thought he was there. To me, I'm like, see, this is fraudulent. And I'm using myself as an example because at those times, if you had asked me, I would have said, nah, I'm not there or whatever. Nah, nigga, I think I'm the best. I'm sorry. I don't know. I think he's trying to be fake humble. And I think maybe that's the approach to these interviews that he was trying to win people back over with the, you know what, rappers never come out humble. I'm going to come out humble. This is almost like a fall on the sword approach. I've always said this. Hip-hop, I just said it to Lil TJ. Whenever you guys see a Lil TJ interview, you're going to hear what I said. But I said it in the Lil TJ interview. I said, part of hip-hop sometimes when they see somebody really arrogant is that they want that person to fall. They want that person to suffer an L. They want that person to be completely broken. So they're going to kind of hate or hope that you catch that loss. And when you're completely broken, they're hoping for you to operate in a way that shows sincere remorse, just regret. And at that point, at your weakest, usually the audience picks you up and they start supporting you. They're doing it right now with Fetty Wap. I don't think Fetty Wap was ever an egotistical person, but the audience starts rooting for you when they see you broken. When they're like, nah, we do fuck with this guy. Right? Because after a while, you know what I mean? Once you start winning too much, people get tired of you winning. And I think if Drake ever like completely just broke, it would probably take 18 to 24 months, but the fans would eventually say, nah, Drake, we fuck with you, man. Nah, yeah, that shit wasn't that big of a deal. We fuck with you. We want to root for you and root for your comeback. People love a comeback story. The problem with Cole and him trying to get people to like kind of almost like root for him is that I don't think he ever really embodied the attributes that make people really wanted to see him fail. You got to be arrogant. You got to be like really, you got to be like a Floyd type guy where people can't wait to see you lose. Like a 50 Cent type guy. And he's trying to come off with this like humble thing like, nah, y'all were right, man. You know what? I know I'm great, but you know, everything y'all said about me, he's trying to do that approach. Everything y'all said about me, y'all kind of had a point like, yeah, like, I didn't really mean that. Y'all right about it. And he's trying to kind of lean into what people would want him to say, except it just kind of comes across like a little bit fake, and it kind of come across even more bitch made. I don't know.
I'm hoping
Yeah.
they might be doing that shit right beside me,
Yeah.
and they might give me 60.
Okay, now I need to know, Mello,
Yo.
did you walk around in real life thinking that you were the best nigga to ever do it?
No, because I
He wasn't the best anyway. See, you see these type of questions, like with all due respect to Mello wasn't the best as nothing, brother. Nothing. Like nothing, nigga. Like, what the hell? What are you talking about? They ain't got no rings. Like, what are we talking about? Like, the best at what? Yo, if your rap career is compared to Carmelo Anthony, nigga, like, yo, good luck. Yo, Melo not even the best nigga without a ring. Like, nigga, Allen Iverson exists, nigga. Like, what are you talking about, bro? I guarantee you ask motherfucking, you ask Michael Jordan, you ask the winners of this shit. You ask, God rest his soul, Kobe. Of course they think they're the best. LeBron always say some PC shit because you know LeBron, he mad political. He's just trying to be a billionaire type shit. You ask LeBron like really and truly, of course LeBron gonna be like, man, of course I'm better than these niggas. I walked around like that. You can't ask like, yo, this nigga was just in Denver doing a bunch of nothing. Dribbling the air out of the ball. Bunch of nothing. Went to the Knicks just chucking up bricks. Like, a bunch of nothing. Keeping it a bean. Like, see, some people keep saying Melo's tough. My nigga, this is where y'all J. Cole fans always gonna miss the plot. J. Cole is a top 5 artist of this generation, but when we get past this generation, nobody ever talks about the number 5 guy. Nobody's gonna talk about the number 4 guy. We talk about 1 and maybe 2. We never talk about 3. That's it. Bro, nobody says, yo, it's either Nas, Jay-Z, or some third guy. What are you talking about? It's niggas, it's who really did it. Somebody said, my job, Miro and Carmelo cool. No, I don't got no issue with I don't know if they cool. That ain't my thing. Bro, I'm just saying respectfully, like, bro, this ain't a nigga you could ask, bro. You got to ask a GOAT.
I felt like once
I don't even want to hear this nigga talk about this shit. Okay, all right. Anyway. So, let's kind of go back. And I don't want to just like, J. Cole put me to sleep. Pause. Yeah, I know you'll put y'all to sleep too. Okay, there's another clip. Nah, this was some bitch-ass nigga shit too, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Yo, this whole interview, I was looking at him like,
which is like, yo,
there's a point. There's a point that they asked him, yo, were you dissing Jay-Z? And this when I realized, man, if you still rocking with J. Cole, man, you a hoe. Yo, J. Cole basically apologized for a diss he didn't even send. Like, yo, this is crazy. The nigga apologized for a diss he didn't even mean to do. How? Like, what? Look, so they quote some random lines he had, and they're like, yo, people thought that was a Jay-Z diss. And instead of him saying, nigga, that ain't no Jay-Z diss, yo, listen, let me tell you what I meant. Bro, he's on some, like, really, like, no, I could see how they could think that. Nah, I could see, yeah. Nah, yeah. Like, I'm like, yo, this thing is like, it's like a sucker. Listen to this.
Songs I want to ask you about off the album and specific lyrics also, like, on the Fall Off is Inevitable, you're talking about the so-called, you were signed by the so-called kings or the so-called GOATs or whatever.
Yes.
Not saying that was a shot at Jay or whatever, but a lot of eyebrows were raised.
Of course,
I was like,
it absolutely wasn't.
What was that about?
You know what's crazy is when the song dropped and people started saying what they saying, it was the first time I was like, oh shit. I ain't mean it like that, but I didn't realize they would take it like that.
Right.
But.
So he claims he didn't mean it as a diss, but he's reading the comments and the reactions. And this is all I need to know what type of nigga J. Cole is. You didn't mean it like that. You're the artist. Like, this whole interview just screamed fraud to me. He says, me saying I'm the best, whatever, is because y'all wanted me to say it. I ain't really believe that. Okay, that's fraudery. That's fraud. Then he's now saying he dropped the line, didn't mean to diss nobody. People said it's at Jay-Z. And he's weighing their fucking thoughts about his fucking lyrics as if their thoughts could give it meaning rather than him just coming out and saying what he meant. You're the artist, fucking stupid ass nigga.
I'm like, oh, I see what they saying. But like, no. If you read it like that, if you read it a certain way, it's like, oh shit, why you say it like that? But it was not the intention. In my mind, it was just like, yo, so-called king. Like they do call nigga, I call him a king. You know what I mean? Like so-called, and I feel like there was a Biggie line in my mind that it's like since then I'm like, nigga, that line don't exist. Like there's a Biggie line that I thought I was referencing where it's like, yo, I don't think you was really referencing that. You know what I mean? But nah. It wasn't until they said that I was like, oh shit, that can be taken a certain type of way.
Especially because, you know what I mean, you're unabashed Nas fan, Let Nas Down is a big record, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'm also unabashed Jay-Z
exactly.
the same way. It's like
exactly.
literally, I say, now signing my hero, one of the, like people hear that like I'm throwing a shot when really I'm saying a line like this. Now signing my hero, one of the so-called kings of this rap thing that I swear to usurp. That's the line where it's like I'm a young, just like Kobe trying to take MJ spot or something, or like trying to go at MJ. That's the line that you could talk about and say something about that I swear to usurp. It's like, of course, it's just me being a kid at that time in a rhyme. I'm putting you in the shoes of me as a teenager or whatever. That's me saying like, yo, one day I'm gonna get there. One day I'm gonna surpass you. And not just him, I was looking at everybody like that. You know what I mean? Like, so, but that line, particular, that phrase, so-called, I didn't mean it no type of way, but when people said it, I'm like, I see what y'all saying, but that was not the intention.
Yeah,
I feel you.
Have y'all spoken since? Like y'all stopped?
Nah, we ain't spoke since then, but that wouldn't be the reason why we not speaking. You know?
That's another thing I realized about J. Cole. For a nigga who basically clarifies in this interview that he has an estranged relationship with everyone. He admits in another part of the interview he hasn't talked to Drake or Kendrick in a while. He hasn't talked to Jay-Z in a while. He seems so worried about their thoughts. It's almost kind of like it comes across as fake and fraudulent. Why go on an interview and be so measured like, oh my God, can't believe you. I thought I meant it like, nah, I didn't mean it. Why not talk to these people directly if you care that much? If you care that much, why not speak to Jay? Why come on an interview and play this role of, oh my God, I could see what y'all mean, but nah, I didn't mean it like that. If you heard the conversation that you may have dissed him and you love him so much, why not call him? Why not have these conversations with Drake or whatever for whatever subsequent whatever?
I doubt he would feel a way about that.
I was about to ask if you got tickets to the Yankee show because it's crazy, right?
You know, I'm hot because I'm actually hot because it's on the first day of my tour.
Yeah,
both shows.
See, that's how you got beef, son.
No, bro, I'm sad. Like I'm gonna go to the Roots joint because like I can't miss that. You know what I mean? But I'm sad. Those is my two favorite J albums.
That's a fact.
Reasonable Doubt.
Okay, man. All right. And I think this is where we could kind of depart. Actually, no, before we do that, you know, I begged for J. Cole to please stop doing interviews. Like, please stop, J. Cole. Like, you're killing your legacy. I don't even fucking like you. But, bro, I at least had some good things to say about you. Now when your name comes up, it's like you're the butt of the joke. However, I want him to just stop doing press runs. The apology was bad. The interviews are worse. And I don't know what it is. Every time I say don't do an interview, he does another one. And apparently he did another one today. Okay?
What's up, guys? Your boys are back with another one.
I don't even know where he found these niggas at. He's doing an interview with these guys.
One man, I'm Ryan, my man George.
Yeah, y'all see the vibe.
Yeah.
And not even knowing that I was one of them dudes because it's like.
Now, I'm skipping through here a little bit. And what I'm trying to get to is what I just posted. I posted about. So I don't know if I posted a classic conversation, but listen to J. Cole on culture and classics. Here we go.
I mean that I think the elitists tend to make fun of, but I'm like, but they're the lit ones.
Yeah,
they're the ones that's creating all of this, whatever that is, 100%. Right? That the entire world is now being infected.
Yep.
So the swag comes from those guys. So when you say the future, so I just think this whole culture thing, it comes from this sort of, you know, I don't want to say subset or niche online sort of presence on hip hop, but I just think that word is such a broad and, you know what I mean? It's such a, they've minimalized.
It's an empty word now.
Yeah, it is.
It used to mean something. Now it's just a buzzword that don't mean nothing. And actually what y'all are speaking about is
This is another thing that confuses me about J. Cole. I think J. Cole is like, he's Ty Lil in rap version. He's a rapper version of Ty Lil, Mr. Backdoor himself. Reason why I say that is that he oscillates between the dicks he's riding. There's in some parts where like his rhetoric becomes clearly anti what Kendrick has based his entire last, I want to say 72-month campaign on. And then another mention, his rhetoric is completely anti what Drake has based his campaign on. Yet he'll be polarized enough to kind of just say, yeah, man, I don't know why. Man, fuck those guys who are trying to, get rid of Drake and cancel him and da-da-da. I hope those losers go away. And you start thinking like, well, that's Kendrick, right? Then he'll start dick sucking Kendrick. It's weird. So like here, Kendrick's whole thing, this entire premise of Kendrick's battle was there's something called culture that Drake doesn't fit in. It's something intangible. It's something that he embodies, and it's something that the culture speaks, and they don't speak in the language of Drake, right? You literally hear him saying, I'm what the culture is feeling. There's a past like iteration of all of this rap stuff where Kendrick and Cole, and even like a Wale, they were kind of seen like incongruent, but like really similar cultures, which was kind of woke, but it was black people culture in terms of their music and their message. We saw them show up for social rallies. We saw them have messages in their music that was just more than just celebratory or like going to the strip club. They cared about seemingly the underlying like bed of what hip hop kind of builds upon, which I think that's what's being called culture. So the idea that J. Cole doesn't acknowledge or J. Cole thinks the word culture is empty, J. Cole's one of those people, if you ask me, who's benefited from being accepted by this idea of the culture. So watching him say this, like, yes, it goes great to help, I don't even think Drake's point is that there's no culture. It goes to undermine what Kendrick says about Drake, but it's confusing hearing it from Cole because he's one of those people the culture has also kind of like defined as one of those guys. It's really confusing if you ask me.
Used to mean something, now it's just a buzzword that don't mean nothing. And actually what y'all...
What?
It's an empty word now.
Yeah, it is.
It used to mean...
Now, it's ironic he's saying that culture is an empty word, but we got to look at the timing of it. The timing is after Kendrick makes a diss song to Drake saying, I'm what the culture feeling, and saying culture. Even the premise, even if he's not saying the word, he's like, yo, you run to Atlanta just to get a check balance. These are all things that are being, like, the whole crux of the battle was trying to point out, they not like us. Us is what supposedly is the culture, and Cole essentially is stepping on the idea saying, it's just a buzzword that's empty now. If that's not a direct attack at what Kendrick was saying for this entire last couple of years, I don't know what is. Yet, in another breath, he'll be completely sucking up and slopping up Dot.
Means something, now it's just a buzzword that don't mean nothing. And actually what y'all are speaking about is bought and paid by paid campaigns or motherfucking bots or
we gonna have to cut some out.
I'm telling you.
Nah, for sure. Or just the algorithm.
Yes.
Even if it's not paid, it's like, yo, the algorithm is, so it's like the word culture is like, yo, it hurts me to see, but it's like, yo, the second, slang used to mean something. Like, yo, like when we said some shit in our area, like I really feel like in Fayetteville, we was it ain't nothing ill to claim, but we was like the first niggas in the world, like now it's like, talking to, we was doing this way back in the days, like, and people thought it was so weird, and now I see people doing it. And it was like, if I'm talking to my homeboy, I don't do this anymore, but we was kids. Like, I'm talking to my homeboy, and I'm like, bitch, you boom, boom, boom. It was bitch.
Yeah.
That was our thing. Like, bitch, you crazy as hell, boom, boom, bitch. Now that shit, when I went to college, I had to damn near scrap a few times. And niggas like, whoa. Another thing is like in
And you was in New
Fayetteville.
York too. New York is a little
Exactly.
Like, hey, yo, what?
Yeah, even in Carolina, in certain cities, niggas like, what the fuck you say? I'm like, oh, my fault, bro. We from Fayetteville. Like, we just talk like that, boom, boom.
Right.
Or like, what's good, Bo? Like, it's certain words that were just ours, right?
Right.
And it's certain words that was just belonging in New York. And it was, and nowadays, it's certain words that like black women make popular, right? Because it just started.
Whatever
It's
that
T.
is.
Okay. Now he
Classic.
gets to talking about
this nigga that don't
music.
like Drake and been spending his whole time shitting on him is gonna agree.
Here we go.
Especially when you got the bigger artists.
Yeah.
Your best bet to get another quote unquote.
Here we go.
Yes, it is.
classic.
So he talks about classics and reviews in a little bit.
Yes, it is.
A
Classic for
super
sure.
classic.
Yeah.
My most listened to hip hop album of all time is Infamous. I'm like, did it shift it? Right. So I'm just thinking, I'm like, do people really know what that word meant, or do we need to update? What that word means. I'm like, am I behind or am I out of the loop? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I was just thinking about that. I'm like, man, even the word classic just doesn't mean what it used to mean.
Yeah, because it's too many voices now.
Yeah.
It's too much. It's
Preach.
too many. It's too many voices, and it's too much bias. And there's never going to be agreement again necessarily unless like it's just too much. And it's like
And
it's like politics. It's like it's like politics now, especially when you got the bigger artists.
Yeah.
Your best bet to get another quote unquote like hands down universal classic has got to be from someone that hasn't developed enough hate yet. You know what I mean? Like you got to have because if you have enough people like riding against you or like a bias against you, it's like you think they're gonna give you that? Like you think if
No, that's not true. That's not true. Let me ask y'all this: Do y'all think that if I listen to a Kendrick, if Kendrick made an album that was like "Damn" again, do you think I would say it's not classic? By the way, y'all heard what I said about GNX. I didn't say GNX was garbage. I said GNX is good. I don't think it's classic though. I don't think it's classic. I think it's a good album though. I don't think it's classic. I said about Cole. I think Cole's album is good. I don't think it's classic either, though. But again, obviously, I'm not gonna call it trash. And let me be a little bit fair. Maybe he is right. Maybe someone who likes Cole, it is classic. And maybe someone who likes Kendrick, GNX is classic. To me, GNX isn't classic. I've given Kendrick classic for a bunch of other albums. Damn is classic. Good Kid, Mad City is classic. To Pimp a Butterfly is classic critically, even though I hate the replay value on the album.
Drake Iceman come out and it's something that I feel is a classic, do you think that this nigga that don't like Drake and been spending his whole time shitting on him is gonna agree to his platform that it's a classic?
Yeah, man.
Fuck no. It's no chance. So it's like we have understood universal classics from the day and age before shit was filtered.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Now you have like niche classics where it's like, yo, like, man, just trust the people over there. Like that's a classic to them.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's a classic to them. But the universal shit,
It's over.
it may
That's
be. You know what I mean?
Literally, the title of my video was "The Universal Classic Dead."
Right. Yeah. And even back then, it's like there were universal classics, but it was like, yo, sometimes people just don't give a fuck enough. Like people don't give a fuck enough to debate your classic stamp. Like Illmatic, classic.
Yep.
Undeniable, right? Nobody in here is going to debate that. How many people knew that shit even dropped when it dropped?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like how many people even knew to join the debate? By the time Illmatic made it to me, to my awareness, it was already stamped a classic.
Right.
So when I press play, I'm listening to it as a classic. Go check how many units Illmatic sold the first week.
Oh, yeah.
Shit might have been 12.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 12,000 or something. But my point.
Here we go.
Too Short's classic. But Too Short, his joint was a classic in his area.
Okay. Of course, people are able to like. Sometimes the music can cut through, and people can listen with their heart. Right.
It's they take it as we're saying that specifically about them.
Spoken about positively. You know what I mean? Like if I'm listening to something and I don't like it, like I could be honest with that and explain and rationalize why. No, me with Soulja Boy back in the days. It's like you just listen to his album. You don't even like this person.
Okay.
But
So you start talking about like reviewers or people reviewing albums now.
in the 70s or the 60s. What the fuck? I had to go to the store, get this shit. I'm already leading with love. I'm spending my $5 back then to get this vinyl. Nowadays, the fucked up part is like, I despise this about like, and that's a strong word, but it's like, this because I'm of the generation where I got a taste of the old way before it switched. So what I don't like is like, yo, to hear my album or to go hear somebody's album or to get his album, I gotta go get it.
Yep.
I'm already expressing love, number one.
Yep.
2, excitement, interest.
Yep.
Because I have to go do something to get this.
And you
even when
inconveniencing yourself a little bit, right?
You said what?
It's a little bit of an inconvenience.
I'm inconveniencing myself
That's
to
commitment,
go check
right?
this out.
Right.
So that means I want to like this shit.
Yep.
Right.
Like, so there's that. Even when it was iTunes, okay, even though I can get this shit on my computer, I still got to make a purchase.
Right.
It's inconveniencing me. It's hitting my pockets.
Right.
What I don't like right now is like, yo, you pay your $15 a month or your $10 a month, you got every fucking song in the world.
Yeah.
We already undervaluing
Yeah, that's true.
all the songs in the world.
You're right, though.
like, okay, but then an album drops, a conversation happens. You don't even give a fuck about this artist. You never loved this artist. You don't even really care about the genre. You're not educated in the genre, in the space.
Right.
You just see a conversation happening and you want to be a part of the conversation. So now let me go listen to such and such album at 12 o'clock or the next day.
Yeah.
I didn't do no work to actually get to this album and to have an opinion. If I didn't like an album when I bought that shit on CD, guess what, nigga? I got the right to not like this bitch because I spent $15.99.
That's right.
I got the right, and now I can have a conversation with somebody else that spent their $15.99. If you didn't spend $15.99, you can't even talk to me about this album. We can't have a conversation. You didn't.
Now, this, I think he's making a decent point. When people are listening to artists that they have zero understanding or context of maybe the music that they're listening to, and they're just listening to it for maybe does it sonically appease them, it does miss out on some of the nuance that if you've been following someone's story, you might have a deeper level of understanding where when you listen to an album, it's a little bit different. So when you have these people who, you know, I guess what he's saying with the money, it's not about spending money, but if you went out to buy someone's music, it means you had an investment into that person's career already. So you probably did know about the last album. You probably did know about what's going on or what they've been talking about, or, you know, you've listened to a song or two that you would like to hear maybe the conclusion or the update to.
Do the work, you didn't make any type of investment. Now, you don't love this nigga you just listened to his album. You don't even like this person. But to be a part of the conversation and to have an opinion, let me go listen to this shit.
Yeah.
There's no barrier of entry for anyone to experience the music, and it's like, yo,
And live with it.
and live with it. So what I was trying to make was like back in the days, I feel like they only had the option of listening with their heart. They didn't have any social media runs to talk to. They buy the record, they put the record on. Their family is in there. My parents was in the Army, so they would buy their record, take it back to the barracks, put it on. They probably have a gathering of people listening to this shit.
Yeah.
They
Full-on
partying.
experience, like
it's a
watching a fight.
full-on experience. It's hard. It's
Right.
no like they didn't sit around and go, yo, I really think it's like I think he could have shaved off 5 songs.
Sonically.
Yeah, sonically, I would have thought he would have went a different direction. It's like, nah, bro. They just like, wow.
Wait, what's
Look what we
sonically mean?
got.
What's that mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know.
Hell yeah. So
Yeah, man.
But I know we are like I don't know how long we've been here.
Okay. And then I think the last clip I was gonna play was there's a clip where he's basically saying it's messed up how people try to listen to this.
Foul, I don't know why you pretending. And I never really understood what that meant.
I honestly don't know either. Like
Okay.
I can't tell you.
Okay.
I don't know. You know what I mean? But you know, shit. I couldn't tell you. If I could tell you, I would tell you.
The relationship has definitely had to be different than it was, 10 years ago, a couple years ago now.
Talking about the relationship?
Yeah, with
on
Drake
my
and
side,
Kendrick.
no. I actually don't.
Did Cole foul? I don't know why you pretending. And I never really understood what that.
Yeah, so he basically admits he doesn't really talk
But you
to
said
them
something in the
anymore.
beginning, how like on.
Okay. And then I can't. All right, let me see if I can find the last. The last clip is just him kind of like saying that he wishes people who J. Cole, who are trying to, listen to this. He hopes people fail that are trying to hurt Drake, and I was like, nigga, you know who you're talking to, right? Like you're talking about Kendrick. Give me a second.
You know, you was 10 years ago, a couple years ago now.
Talking about the relationship?
Yeah, with
on
Drake
my
and
side,
Kendrick.
no, I actually don't know.
Really?
Like on my side, absolutely not.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I feel the same way, but I can't. A relationship is two ways, so I actually couldn't sit here and tell you like I don't know how they feel about about me. You know what I mean? I can genuinely tell you that. You know what I mean? But for me, it's the same.
So if there was a olive branch to be reached between all three, you know what I'm saying? Like, would you be the
All
one
three?
to sort of, yeah.
Like all ways of the three?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like
I
in the
would love
connective
that,
tissue
but-
between the two.
I would love
you know?
that, but I don't.
I don't know if Drake and Kendrick ever
That's
find
what
their
I'm
way,
saying.
but
Like,
you know what I'm saying? You seem like the person who's kind of like Switzerland in this situation.
oh yeah, I mean, but I would love that. You know what I mean? But I don't. I
You don't
know
foresee
how-
it?
Maybe in time
Yeah.
or something. You know what I mean? Not speaking for myself. I'm just putting myself in their shoes. Just like I don't know.
That's
you know what I mean? I don't know. And maybe they, I don't know.
I mean, listen, we've lived through a lot of great rap beefs over the years, and almost all of them we've eventually saw some sort of reconciliation, some sort of something where they're together.
5 years from now, I don't know if we gonna love to see it at any time.
Of course.
But right now it's like, yo.
You talking about possible
Every
reconciliation?
combination of y'all three made incredible music together, no matter when it was,
Not for sure. I mean, yes, I agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cole is in Fayetteville, man. That's basically what he said, man. I'm in the Civic.
It's nothing I can really give you on that.
in the
know?
Civic, man.
I can-
Even in addition to that, man, just because it's a conversation that everybody is taught to death for the past 2 years, and people just pick up breadcrumbs throughout lyrics and throughout songs about just the relationship between the three. I think on Evil Ways he says something like,
I feel
Okay. All right. Enough of that. All right. I don't want to sit here and just keep regurgitating and watching clips. Do y'all want to look at the Jay-Z stuff? Like, Jay-Z did do an interview. We could save that for a full breakdown tomorrow if you wanted to, because I don't want to pick out clips from there. I would actually watch it. It's 30 minutes. I want to watch the whole interview. We could leave that for tomorrow if you want. If you want. Okay. Let me see real quick. Have y'all watched this story, chat? So this basketball player, he used to play for the Bulls. He just got waived by the Chicago Bulls today. Apparently the NBA is celebrating Pride Month. Okay? Now, as of March 2026, the NBA continues to celebrate Pride Month. They're going to support the LGBTQ plus community with nearly all 30 teams hosting annual Pride Nights. The league partnered with GLAAD for initiatives like Spirit Day and sells Pride apparel, with the proceeds often benefiting organizations like GLSEN. In a recent development, the Chicago Bulls waived their guard after he publicly criticized the NBA Pride celebrations, calling them unrighteous. Now, I do want to play his comments that he got waived for. Check this out.
That the world can proclaim LGBTQ. Right? They proclaim Pride Month and the NBA. They proclaim it. They show it to the world. They say, come join us for Pride Month, to celebrate unrighteousness. They proclaim it. They proclaim it on the billboards. They proclaim it in the streets. Unrighteousness. So how is it that one can't speak righteousness? How is it one that how are they to say that you man, this man is crazy? That the world can proclaim.
Okay. Now, if you don't know who this guy name is Jaden Ivey. Apparently, he's not like a star or anything like that, but he averaged around 8 points per game this year. He averaged 60 minutes, 8 points per game, pretty decent, like guy off the bench type of thing. Don't know if he was injured or whatever recently. This is his career stats. Actually, this year he only played 4 games. He averaged 11. Last year he was on the Pistons. He played 33. He averaged 8 points. And before, he averaged 17 and 15 and 16. Wow. Okay, so he's not that bad of a player. Let me look at his salary. Wow. He was in the final year of his rookie contract. That was $33 million. He was making $10 million this year. And apparently he's now waived. He's pretty much out of the league. Where was he drafted at? Let me see. Where was he drafted at? What position was Jaden Ivey drafted at? He was drafted 5th overall. Oh, wow. Jesus Christ. So it looked like he wasn't that bad. People probably had some hopes and prospects for him. All right, let me just speak to this, and then we're going to play the subsequent clips. So he gets cut after this. He gets waived. And essentially what that means is that the Chicago Bulls no longer are interested in his services. They're probably going to pay out a certain amount, which is probably from a waive clause. NBA contracts are guaranteed mostly, but, there is certain type of flexibility depending on if you're on your first contract or whatever. So he's still going to get pretty much the majority of that $10 million, but it now becomes a situation, will he get another job? Now, this is right after he's criticized or made some remarks about the NBA celebrating a LGBTQ plus night. And this is my opinion, and then we'll play it. My opinion is this. Y'all know me. Batimanism is not my type of thing. Okay? But I'm going to be honest with you. You see, when y'all sign up to get into some of these places, if you're in the NBA, your personal opinions should be kept off of social media. I think the same with football. It's not a platform necessarily for your personal opinion. And I do think if you try to make political statements, you're putting your job in jeopardy. These leagues have shown that they don't care about one particular player trying to, shake the pot or stir the pot, whatever you want to call it. They care about their political affiliations. So let me just say this. While it's not about if I agree with what he said, it doesn't matter. He's an NBA player, so he should shut his fucking mouth if he wants the job. Now, if he wants to just keep yapping, he's now free to do so. I think he should create a Twitch channel. Well, I would love to hear his opinion on this all day. But he could do it for subs at $5 instead of playing for $10 million. The mere fact is, these leagues, it's not about just what I think. These leagues ain't for these niggas to speak out. Look at some of the crazy shit that happened in China. I seen LeBron fold. There's few things you can't talk about when you sign to these like sport leagues, especially in basketball. You can't say nothing about China. Better not say nothing about the LGBTQ plus community. And you better not criticize anybody of Jewish descent. That's a fact. All right? Also, keep your protests or your outspokenness when it comes to social issues that might involve race to a certain amount. Yes, you could say Black Lives Matter. Well, I don't know if Black Lives Matter is the thing people are saying. Yes, you could say, certain stuff that might be pro-black, but not to the point where you're going to affect their bottom line and cause their sponsors to pull out. It just is what it is. These companies, they have now seen what happened with the NFL with Colin Kaepernick basically doing a stick-up. They're getting niggas out of the paint as soon as they get out of line. Y'all know what y'all signed up to. Y'all not rappers. Y'all not nobody else. Y'all signed up to be vessels where your bodies are going to get destroyed consistently. You're going to get high paid, but nobody wants to hear you say shit about nothing. Unless, if that's what you want, just make a Twitch account. Now, I know some of y'all might be like, nah, that's a sellout way. this isn't a league that's trying to platform your voice. They're trying to platform your talent. Yes, you have a voice because of that. But if your voice goes against what they want, bro, they don't want to hear you talk about your anti-LGBTQ views. Bro, just wait till you retire to say that shit. Now, he got on live after he got released. And he said this.
So, the Bible is true, right?
And again, I hope y'all have the nuance of understanding that I'm saying. I'm not saying I disagree with anything he's saying. Or I'm not even, I have no opinion about it. I'm just saying, motherfucker, you're an NBA player. You're an NBA player. And you know how the NBA is giving it up. The NBA right now, they're slave to gambling companies because gambling companies are funding most of the shit going on in there. Imagine if one of y'all players come on and be like, yo, why y'all be on our dick so much about gambling? Yo, NBA, y'all fucked up for doing gambling shit. That shit probably rigged. You're getting suspended or dropped. You can't, if you sign up to be an NBA player, you can't go against their bottom line and still expect to be gainfully employed. You know that they have a huge audience in China. You can't start talking about, man, fuck China. Look what they doing to Taiwan. Man, they don't want to hear that. They don't want you to talk about what's going on in Israel and Gaza. Cut it out. Nigga, what's going on at the 3-point line? They get in the huddle. That's it. And they definitely don't want you to talk about homosexuals. You see where the world is at. Brother, get your money when you can't physically play anymore. Go make a YouTube channel like Gilbert Arenas or something. I'm sorry to say.
And may you be glorified, Jesus. The Bible is true. They said my conduct is detrimental to the team, right? Why didn't they just say we don't agree with his stance on LGBTQ? Why didn't they say that? But how is it conduct detrimental to the team? What did I do to the team? What did I do to the players? I did nothing but practice with them, play with them, pass the ball to them, good teammate to them.
I have to interject here, and this is where I think, these players think they got too much autonomy. Brother, you're just flesh and skin and bones and ligaments and tendons. You're not that special. Nobody give a fuck about you. There's a million basketball players that could fit your job. Your job is to not fuck up the bottom line. You should understand that. Your job is not to fuck up the bottom line. So the first time, the Chicago Sun-Times has to call into the Chicago Bulls to say, hey, why is one of your players asking why the fuck y'all doing, Pride nights when this was already agreed by the whole fucking league, and y'all are raising millions of dollars that are also being donated, and these companies are probably helping to, some of these companies, they give scores to be like, hey, if you want to advertise with non-homophobic leagues, this is a league that's non-homophobic. It allows us to have as many pride nights as we want. But now with players coming out and speaking out of turn, boy, go home and say that. Stay on Instagram Live and say it. Unfortunately, it's not about where you think you are, because he's going to quote the Bible, and he's going to be trying to make a theological argument. And the theological argument he's going to try to make is something that could be discussed. I'm not going to lie. I think these days we have a disconnect, and this is why, unfortunately, I feel like Christianity is seen a little bit less serious in the world than, say, Islam. Why? Because there are things that are said that are non-tolerable, yet it's conveniently ignored just out of the idea of being progressive. So when you could kind of pick and choose what we are kind of moving past, or we're progressing beyond with the the book or with religion, it becomes something that, you know, it becomes kind of like ruleless, as opposed to like Islam. Like, they're not going to be like, oh, nah, yeah, we'll allow this. They're intolerant, still very intolerant. And I get him trying to make this theological argument. But if he wants to do this, he need to go make a Twitch channel and go stream with Myron Gaines and some shit like that. No disrespect, you know, Myron's my nigga. But, like, go do that and leave playing basketball to the niggas who can shut the fuck up.
Said, good job. Good shot.
And chat, for the people who keep saying, nah, don't be a slave, it's not. Well, here's the thing. I hate when y'all say that. Well, it's being a slave signing up to the NBA. The NBA has already told you what they're into. Don't get in here and try to break the rules, motherfucker. If you believe, put it like this. I don't like when people are acting. Yo, look how they got at Kyrie. If you want to get up in this shit and criticize Jewish people and shit like that, don't go to the NBA. Just stay online and do it there. Just make a Twitch. Just make a YouTube channel. Don't go in this league and expect that you could do it under their watch. It's not gonna happen.
I said, good job, good pass. Way to play, bro. Right? I said these things to my teammates. Was never detrimental to them. So why is it that the NBA and the Chicago Bulls say that I'm detrimental to the team? How? Cause I believe in the truth. Because I know Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life.
Hey, listen, man. Respectfully to Jaden Ivey, you need to go play for the Christian, like, you know those basketball leagues for like your church basketball league. Go play one of those, bro. You're playing the league that basically praises and bows to gambling. This isn't the most holistic league possible. This is a league that's about dollars. If it makes dollars, it goddamn makes sense. I don't think that morality and these other things is what's driving the league, and you know this going into it.
How? How is my conduct detrimental to the team? Because of what I believe. Because of what the truth is.
And by the way, also, here's the thing, too. Nobody's trying to control his beliefs, right? Like, I don't even think the NBA is trying to, like, now, here's the thing. This is where I would kind of be, like, conflicted. And maybe you guys could give me more details. If the NBA is forcing these players to make political statements like, no, you have to participate and do X, Y, and Z for this group in this Pride Night, that would make it appear that you're in support of whatever. Now I get that, because it feels like they're trying to pressure you to make these supportive or political statements when you are actually not in support. However, you vocalizing whether you support or not, I don't think that's necessary. You could have the opinion that you don't like whatever is happening. Just as long as you're employed, don't say it out loud.
But like I said, these things will happen in the Word of God. They hated Jesus Christ. They hated him. They didn't want to hear his words. They hated Jesus. They stomped him. They stomped the Son of God. They don't want to hear the word. They killed Jesus. They beheaded John the Baptist.
This guy is this like the Black Tim Tebow or something? And also, brother, let me tell you this, man. We learned from Kyrie. If Kyrie wasn't pretty much like a NBA Hall of Famer, they would have kicked that nigga out of the fucking league too. Brother, you've been in the league for 4 years. You ain't done enough. You ain't seen enough. You don't mean enough for anybody to tolerate you espousing these opinions. Again, it's not about if they're right or not or if people believe them or not. It's that you're fucking up the bottom line when you probably contribute none to it. You're not a draw yourself. You're not a game changer. You're not a person that is like, hey, him on the team, we're going to the finals. No owner wants to tolerate you. They don't want to, run into fire for you and your opinions. You basically don't have the leverage like another player who may be able to get away with raising these questions or espousing their thoughts about issues of maybe like LGBTQ plus. So I don't get what he's doing.
This is not about me. This is about the kingdom of God. This is about the truth of the Bible. Because I spoke what the truth is. Because I called these things out. Because that's what it is. So, the Bible is true, right? And may you be glorified, Jesus.
Okay. He also spoke a little bit more. Check him out.
That's why you got Steph Curry, and he not even surrendered. And y'all believe he's a Christian. Y'all believe he's a Christian because he wrote Philippians 4:13. Y'all think he's a Christian. But he cursing just like the world.
We are now almost ready to go, so please take your seats. Fasten your seatbelt.
Friendship with the world is enmity with God. He's friendship with the world. He don't know Jesus. And I pray he comes to the truth. That him and his family will be saved in Jesus' name. Because all that stuff is not going to matter on Judgment Day. All them rings he got.
I'll buy it, yes.
All them rings LeBron got. All them rings Michael Jordan got. That's why you got Steph Curry.
Now, I don't know. This is a little bit odd to me. I can't even cap with you. Now, apparently his rant is a little bit longer, but Jaden Ivey.
Jaden Ivey went live on Instagram.
What the truth is, a Ferrari for 10 hours. When has everyone? When good is it driving the store with the Ferrari? You only get to drive that Ferrari for the time being. You're not gonna sit and drive a Ferrari for 10 hours. When has anyone driven a Ferrari for 10 hours? No one. But still, like, what good is it gonna do for you on Judgment Day if you don't know the Lord Jesus Christ and you don't obey his commandments? It's not gonna do no good. It's not gonna do no good doing your will, trying to win championships, and you not doing the will of God. That's where many stumble. That's where many don't know the real Jesus. That's why you got Steph Curry, and he not even surrendered, and y'all believe he's a Christian.
Okay, this guy was going off. Apparently, at one point they try to.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. This Jaden Ivey situation is just sad. I was wanting to talk about this ever since the whole situation broke out yesterday, but I just hope that maybe it was a rough day and nothing would come from it. But after seeing that the Chicago Bulls very bizarre comments on his bizarre Instagram posts that seem to give off the idea that he is mentally unwell. And I traded for? Well, essentially it was all of this. Very bizarre comments on his bizarre Instagram posts that seem to give off the idea that he is mentally
Catholicism is a false religion and not the true doctrine of Christ, and it doesn't lead to salvation. Oh my God.
Unwell. And I really want to clarify, I have nothing against anybody's religion. That's not the point here. It's just if you watch these clips, you know what I'm talking about.
The piss is not gonna matter on Judgment Day.
And it's even more sad because of some of the things he said recently, whether it's opening up about trauma in the past or saying things like the old J.I. is dead and I'm not the player I used to be. So honestly, basketball aside, I'm hoping for nothing but the best for J.I.
Oh, you got CTE, huh? Holy shit. It's kind of interesting. I'm, obviously he's talking about religion, so I don't want to jump too much into, he's mentally ill, but it does look like he's kind of like having some mental issues. Not going to say he's not passionate about what he's talking about, but he's definitely going through some mental stuff, bro. It's kind of sad. Where's all the resource? I'm pretty sure they probably did deploy some of the resources because these teams have a shit ton of resources for things like this, and they usually try to make sure players don't like crash out. But homeboys don't crash out, and they got him out of here. Huh?
This man lost millions of dollars and ruined his life all in a span of 75 minutes. So Jaden Ivey went on Instagram Live for 75 minutes, and by the time he was done, the Chicago Bulls waived him and his NBA career was over. But how and why? Jaden Ivey was the 5th overall pick in 2022. He was supposed to be Cade Cunningham's backcourt partner in Detroit. Last season, he was having a career year, 17 points a game, shooting 41% from 3. Then he broke his leg and everything changed. The Pistons traded him to Chicago back in February. He's only played in 4 games before getting shut down with a knee injury, and that's when he told reporters this.
I'm not the same player as I used to be. I'm not the Jay I used to be. But the old Jay is dead. I'm alive in Christ.
Now, athletes talk about faith all the time. There's nothing wrong with that. But then he started going at his own fans, calling them sinners, telling people that their prayers don't matter. Then yesterday, he went on Instagram Live for nearly an hour, alone in his car, and said the Pistons won't matter on Judgment Day.
The Pistons not gonna matter on Judgment Day.
He went after the NBA for celebrating Pride Month, calling it celebrating unrighteousness.
They proclaim Pride Month and the NBA. Come join us for Pride Month, to celebrate unrighteousness.
Hours later, the Chicago Bulls waived him. Their reason was it was conduct detrimental to the team.
What did I do to the players? I did nothing but practice with them, play with them, pass the ball to them. Good.
Yeah, cooked. Hey, listen, I hope he does seek some help. He did make still a staggering amount of money in his NBA career. But when you see a young, I think he's only 24. I hope he gets another chance, even though history tells me he probably won't. But he needs to get some help immediately. I think that's the first order of business, right? Okay, cool. What time is it right now? 2 o'clock? Oh, my God. Is there any quick topic we could get to? I want to get to a quick topic real quick. Trey talking about Iceman. No. Okay. I'll do this. This will probably be my last topic for tonight, chat. Again, I'm a little jet lagged. You're going to have to forgive me. I just wanted to come on here and just kind of let you know we're back to doing our daily streams. So forgive me a little bit. We're going to get into the Jay-Z interview tomorrow. I got to give you a good breakdown for that. I'm going to do the Jimmy Henchman stuff as well. I just didn't want to, I don't want to half-ass it tonight. Tiger Woods was involved in a car crash recently on Friday. And apparently, according to the eyewitness, it was, it was a 2-car accident. And apparently, it looks like one of the vehicles, the vehicle that he was in, was actually rolled over and it was on his side. The picture of it seems to be here. Okay? Now, Tiger Woods, he got arrested due to this. At first, people wondered if, maybe somebody hit his car. But now we get to find out that essentially Tiger Woods may have been intoxicated or somehow driving under the influence. Now, this is a really convoluted thing, but they're saying that, here it goes. It says Donald Trump Jr. has some concerns following his arrest since the golfer is dating his ex-wife. All right, anyway, why is this about him? Hold on. Okay. I'm trying to get the, okay. They said, so here's the interesting part about it, right? They're saying Woods crashed his Land Rover as he attempted to pass a truck and he clipped the trailer on it, causing his vehicle to flip on the side. They're saying police said that Woods showed some signs of impairment. This is interesting. But he was arrested after he refused a urine test. Now, that's leading to DUI charges and a refusal to submit to a lawful test. Now, this is really interesting to me, Chad. Tiger Woods gets pulled over, or not pulled over. He crashed his car. The car's flipped on the side. Clearly, he's not injured too crazy. He does have an injury that's preventing him from playing golf at this moment. But when the police show up on the scene, and if they show up to the scene, they're usually going to, if the accident looks too crazy, they might be like, yo, we want to make sure you weren't impaired, especially if you caused the accident. They give him a breathalyzer test. He passes the breathalyzer. So apparently, he's not intoxicated, because when you're intoxicated, you have alcohol on your breath and you will blow what they believe is your alcohol blood level through your breath, okay? He passed that test, but for whatever reason, the police still believe that he's not in his right mind. Now, what could that mean? They believe that he must be under some other drug. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to be marijuana, but between marijuana, pills, or whatever else, they feel like he's still impaired. So they ask him to submit to a urine test, which I've never heard that before. Usually once you pass the breathalyzer, usually you don't even get to a breathalyzer. They kind of have you do the rigmarole with the, lift one foot, like they'll give you that test, but they won't go beyond that. They get to a breathalyzer, he passes it, now they ask him to do a urine test. He was alone in the vehicle at the time of the crash, and they said that the Secret Service agents are not letting Tiger Woods, even without the DUI, drive the kids. So apparently his wife is the former wife of Donald Trump Jr., and apparently that woman has kids with Donald Trump Jr., which means that Secret Service is assigned to those kids, and Tiger Woods would come in contact with Secret Service because they got to protect the kids. So they're saying that Woods cannot drive the kids. And President Trump, who's friends with Woods, reacted to the incident saying, I feel so bad. He got some difficulty. There was an accident, and that's all I know. A very close friend of mine. He's an amazing person, amazing man, but some difficulty. They said Vanessa's also reportedly upset with Woods and gave him an ultimatum following the car crash. He has to get things under control, or she's not going to stick around, someone from the Daily Mail reportedly told them. Got to be honest with you, man. It sounds like they're trying to say Tiger Woods is who we think Kodak Black is. Like Tiger off the stuff. And I'm wondering what the real story here is behind it. Obviously, in the last couple of years, he's gotten a lot of unfortunate injuries that has kept him out of being maybe the golfer that he used to be. And maybe he's addicted to some of those drugs that, he's been taking prescription-wise to kind of like help him heal. Or maybe even worse, maybe he's taking drugs to kind of numb himself of the mental pain of just not being able to perform anymore. This guy is literally the greatest golfer. Maybe some may say Jack Nicklaus. Some may say Rory McIlroy. But people do feel like Tiger Woods' story is a little bit tragic. He hasn't won recently. There's a bunch of times he's missed par. He hasn't made it to the final day of many of these majors or masters or whatever. And it's kind of a sad story. And just the look on his face, I feel like it's like a fall from grace. Remember when he got caught with all those women, his wife left him. He's been going through a tough time, and maybe he's been self-medicating. So that becomes the thing. So that's the whole story. They're saying that, and I watched my man Bradford Cohen, who actually, he was kind of intrigued by this case for a couple of reasons. This is what he said about it. check this out.
All right, let's talk about Tiger Woods and his DUI. He was arrested for a DUI in Jupiter, Florida, which is a little bit north of Fort Lauderdale, a lot north of Miami, and that is where he lives. Allegedly, he was driving a Range Rover. The Range Rover flipped over. There were some pictures of him outside the Range Rover on his phone. There's a mugshot picture of him where they're saying he has red bloodshot eyes, but if you look at the picture above, generally speaking, this kid has red bloodshot eyes. Like, his eyes are not always clear, and that could be because he's out in the sun all the time. There's a lot of different reasons for that. Long story short is they arrest him for a DUI, suspicion of being under the influence of alcohol, allegedly, because they ask him to blow. Surprise, surprise, he blows all zeros. And then, of course, the officer changes the narrative and says, well, he must be under the influence of something, so we'll do a urinalysis. He then refuses to take the urinalysis, and it's a genius idea not to take the urinalysis. Why? The urinalysis will detect anything in your bloodstream for the past 30 days, usually. Marijuana stays for 30 days. Some pills stay for 5 to 7 days. Different kinds of drugs stay in your system for different types of times. And the urinalysis may tell you parts per thousands, but they'll argue whatever it is in your system, that would affect the way that you drive, which we know that is not true, but they'll find an expert to say anything, like the state often does. This is going to be an interesting case. I think personally this is one he needs to fight. It's not one that you need to take a plea on. He has a prior from 2009, so the stakes are a little bit higher when you have a second DUI. It is outside of 10 years. That also makes a difference. So those things put together, I think that he's going to fight it, which he should. And I think that if he does fight it, and
so yeah, he brings up a good point that I wanted to kind of piggyback off. The point is this: they wanted to do a urine test, but a urine test brings in a lot more than what may have been influencing Tiger Woods that day that he's behind the wheel. So if you get someone in a urine test, it might say, oh, they smoked, but he didn't smoke that day. But if you smoke weed, it could last in your pee, or it could be detected in your pee for like a couple of weeks, I think, or at least a couple of days. So again, that becomes the interesting thing. I'm assuming safely that Tiger's off some stuff. I don't know what it is. It looks like even the president of the United States who commented on it acknowledged that, he has some troubles. They're not saying what it is. Like, is he on some Hunter Biden shit? Is he off some crack? Like, what is it? What type of drug? I'm guessing we'll find out at a later time, but it does feel like everybody around him is kind of protecting him and probably protecting his image. But Tiger Woods is probably a goddamn fiend at this point. And it's kind of sad. But I'm wondering why he's always alone. Why get $1 billion if you can't just get a driver? Even if you want to go, I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Like, if you want to go fuck off on a bunch of random mid-hoes, like, nigga, just get a driver to just drive you back and forth there. Why are you always behind the wheel? I think it's like a second or third time he's been involved in like a crash where people were wondering about the circumstances. So, I don't know. I don't know what life he's living now, but it feels like he's being he's not being responsible, especially when we think about him being a potential billionaire. I don't know. We'll see. We will see, man. All right. Anyway, chat. I'm gonna call it here for the night. I'm jet lagged a little bit. I just got off a plane. I really haven't even said even hi to my mama or nothing like that. My mama's here, and I'll be back on tomorrow, but I just wanted to give you guys a quick stream. We did go over the J. Cole stuff a bit. We went over Charleston White and Thug, and I quickly touched on 2 other topics, but we'll get to, I want to do a real sit down of the Jay-Z interview, because we've seen a lot of things with Jay-Z recently. Jay-Z has now made a few announcements of what's going to happen this year, from concerts sold out at Yankee Stadium, some initiatives that supposedly he's pushing. I don't know if you guys heard about it recently. He's done an interview. He's saying he's going on the offensive. What does all of this mean, and what are we supposed to take from it? I'm going to give you guys a breakdown of what I really think, and we're going to analyze his words. Again, not on some, like we're trying to go anti everything he says, but I do think the timing here is interesting. Jay hasn't done an interview in a long time. He chose to do one for GQ, and this interview is going to tell us a lot about maybe some questions we have, right? Chat, I'm going to catch you guys tomorrow. I appreciate you. I know some of y'all saying L, but yo, it's 2:20. I just got off a plane. I barely slept. Okay, just give me until tomorrow, right? Love y'all. I'll talk